The Texas A&M Aggies take down the Yale Bulldogs, the NCAA tournament, setting up a matchup with the Michigan Wolverines on Saturday.
You are Locked On Aggies, your daily podcast on the Texas A&M Aggies, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome on into Locked On Aggies. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak. Thanks for making Locked On Aggies your first listen every single day. And today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at 5 Hour Energy. Head to 5hourenergy.com to find over 15 flavors to choose from. Need one now? Grab a 5 Hour Energy shot at your local grocery or convenience store. Stock up today and stay energized. On the show today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk a little bit of baseball. The Aggies, of course, dropped game one against the Commodores of Vanderbilt. A painful game, I'll be honest with you. I thought the Aggies were going to pull this one out, and, of course, it does not go that way. Could talk a little football depending on what we got time-wise, but the Aggies get it done against the Yale Bulldogs in the NCAA tournament. And I'll tell you, I was scared of this game. I think everybody, knowing what Yale did last year, upsetting Auburn, knowing that they had that really good shooter in Pulakaitis back, I was concerned about this game. But Texas A&M does what they do best and finds a way to get the victory. A game where they pull down 10 offensive rebounds. They out-rebound the Bulldogs 37-29. Your leading scorer in this game for the Aggies is Pharrell Payne. I mean, nobody could stop the big man. 25 points, 10 of 12 from the field, 10 rebounds, a double-double. Those of you everydayers here at Locked On Aggies know that when we talk basketball, we talk efficiency. I absolutely love efficiency. I hammer efficiency, talking about it every single day when talking about this basketball team. But it was an efficient day for Payne, and it was a pretty efficient day for Wade Taylor, I thought. 6 of 13 from the field, not his best day shooting from three, 1 of 6, but we'll take 6 of 13, 16 points, 5 assists. We will take that all day long, especially knowing that Wade Taylor only turned the basketball over 1 time. The Aggies only turned over 11 times total. You take that all day long, and I mean all day long. So a game, you get 7 points from Garcia, who also pulls down 8 rebounds. No offensive boards for Garcia, which obviously that's a big part of his repertoire, so that was a bit surprising. You get 9 points from Manny Obaski and some big points. It felt like the buckets that Manny got just came at good times in this basketball game. It just felt like that was really – and then, I mean, another guy in Jace Carter, his baskets, like I want to pull up the play-by-play. I mean, his baskets were important. They were late. They helped this team. Yeah, you got he had a 2-point shot. Yeah, he had a personal 5-0 run. Unless he scored before then. No, yeah, he had a personal 5-0 run in this game, which felt like it came at the perfect time. It was a huge kind of, those 5 points from him came at the most significant part of the game, I thought. And the other part I loved about this is, which first of all, and I'll tell you this, the John Pulakaitis, that kid's a stud. That kid can play. Is he done eligibility-wise? It says he's a senior. I don't know how it works. Maybe he has another year. I don't think he does. But that kid's a stud. The fact that he didn't transfer, I guess he did only average 13.4 last year, but still, that kid could have been a star somewhere, great this year. But a good game for him. He goes 7 of 18 from the field, 23 points. He's had a really good game. And I think the Aggies did a great job dealing with Mbang in this game. I mean, he fouls out a guy that averages 13 points a game, almost 6 assists and 6 rebounds. So, I mean, a really efficient player. And he fouls out, only scores 2 points, does have 9 assists and 8 rebounds. So, I mean, he helped out in other ways. But, you didn't let him score, which was great to see in this one as well. And, I mean, they only get 18 total bench points on 71 points. I was proud, extremely proud of the effort from the Aggies in this game. I mean, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I did not feel good heading into this game. I don't think anybody did. I mean, Yale was one of the hottest upset picks heading into this round of the NCAA tournament. I mean, everybody really liked Yale in this game. Texas A&M is not a great offensive team, and they said all these things, but the Aggies find a way to get it done. And I believe cover the spread, right? Yeah, the Aggies cover. They won by 9 points. The spread was 7.5. So the Aggies even find a way to cover the spread against Yale, which sets up a matchup against the Michigan Wolverines. So I'll talk about their game first, and then we'll talk about where we match up and all that. So they played UC San Diego, which I think was probably the hottest upset pick. Maybe Drake was, which of course they did end up taking down Missouri. But I mean, it was a hot upset pick. And the Tritons of UC San Diego gave Michigan all they could handle. Michigan's up 41-27 at the break, and UC San Diego wins the second half 38-27, so that they won the second half. But of course, the Wolverines win the game that mattered the most. Part of the issue in this game was, I think, that they did a pretty good job holding down Golden. Michigan runs two centers out there. Danny Wolf, ironically, who played for Yale last year, and part of the team that beat Auburn. And Golden, who came over from FAU, started at Texas Tech, but came over from FAU most recently. And Golden scores 14 points, but he, was only able to play about 28 minutes per game. What does he normally play? Oh, okay, that's actually around his average. I figured he might play some more minutes than that. But he was in foul trouble, kind of going in and out of the game all game long. And so, yeah, he goes 14 points, 5 of 9 from the field. Danny Wolf, 11 boards, 9 points. Trey Donaldson, their starting point guard, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. They get 11 points on the bench they only play 8 guys. So they play 8 guys. They got 18. They got 24 bench points in this one. So, the bench helped them out a little bit. And, I was impressed with Michigan. But, once again, to get back to the Yale-Texas A&M game, I just every aspect that you needed to win this game, I thought Texas A&M did a really good job of. So, you shoot 51.7% from the field. You only shoot 24% from 3, but once again, that's not your game. That's only on 25 attempts. Once again, and I'm going to keep hammering this down. I know it annoys some people. Texas A&M has to make their free throws. I tell you this right now, with confidence, promise you don't beat Michigan if you go 12 for 21 at the free throw line. You are leaving, and I'm going to sound like the most cliche rec league basketball coach of all time. They're called free throws. They're free. You are leaving 9 free points out there. And Yale, wasn't much better. They were 9 of 14. But, yeah, you leave 9 free points out there at the free throw line. That was incredibly frustrating. Once again, you win the defensive rebounding, the offensive rebounding, both those categories. You win the offensive 10-6 and the defensive 27-23. I was a little surprised, actually. I figured Texas A&M would win the offensive rebounding battle by more. And honestly, I thought 6 was, that's where I thought Yale would be. I just thought Texas A&M would be closer to that 15-ish range, if not more than that. 11 assists in this game. The Aggies got 16 points off of 13 Yale turnovers. That helps a lot. We won the points off turnover battles. We turned it over 11, which turned into 7 Yale points. We also won the fast break points battle, 16-8, and the points in the paint battle, which if you'd have lost the points in the paint battle in this game, you were losing this basketball game. Texas A&M wins that one 48-32 on the points in the paint. I was just all around proud and impressed with this effort. There's no victory that gets me more fired up than a game where everybody's picking against you. Everybody's taking Yale. And the Aggies say, I don't give a damn. We're in the SEC. We just played in the best conference in college basketball history. And I want to say something. For those ACC fans, get ready to get put on blast real quick. For the ACC fans that are saying, the SEC, historic conference. Your all second and third best team just got bounced by 2 mid-majors, Creighton and McNeese. So I don't want to hear a word from the ACC. And hopefully Texas A&M is going to give it a little shush to the Big Ten fans by dominating the Michigan Wolverines on Saturday. We're going to fully preview that basketball game and talk a little baseball coming up right here on Locked On Aggies. But first, I got to tell you about our friends over at Nissan. We're all about the stats because numbers don't lie. And when it comes to the all-new Nissan Armada Pro 4X, the numbers are MVP level. With the ability to tow 8,500 pounds, it can quite literally carry the whole team. Plus the gear, wherever you need to go. It's powered by twin-turbo V6 engine, delivering strength and performance to handle highways, back roads, and everywhere in between. And with room for up to 8 people, the Armada Pro 4X is built for big crews, big adventures, and even bigger memories. Whether you're exploring off-road trails or rolling up to the arena, the Armada Pro 4X brings power, versatility, and style wherever you go. Take your adventures to new heights in the all-new Nissan Armada Pro 4X. Learn more at nissanusa.com. Also, I want to tell you about our friends over at 5 Hour Energy. Daylight savings snuck up on us. It always seems to. And if you're feeling the lost hour of sleep, 5 Hour Energy has your back. The extra sunshine means more time for fun, but sometimes you need a little boost to power through and enjoy that extra sun. Whether you're staying up late watching the NCAA tournament, squeezing in a round of golf after work, which once again I did the other day and it did not go well, or just trying to keep up with your busy day, 5 Hour Energy gives you the quick, refreshing pick-me-up whenever you need it. I've been staying up late watching the tournament. Last night, I was up watching Texas Tech, had Texas Tech to cover an alternate spread, which they did, and won a parlay. Thank you, Texas Tech. And 5 Hour Energy is the only thing that was able to help me stay up and do that. With longer days, I love getting outside, whether it's to golf, to fish, and Tropical Burst is the go-to flavor for that. Whether I'm at the game or traveling, 5 Hour Energy is easy to grab and keeps me feeling refreshed all day long. Head to 5hourenergy.com to find over 15 flavors to choose from, including watermelon, blue raspberry, and peach mango. You can build your own 12-pack or 24-pack delivered right to your door. Need one now? Grab a 5 Hour Energy shot at your local grocery or convenience store. They're everywhere. Stock up today and stay energized. So the Aggies are getting ready to take on the Michigan Wolverines. Those of you everydayers here at Locked On Aggies know that your local Locked On Aggies host is very anti the Big Ten. I say boo to the Big Ten. I don't like the Big Ten at all. And I think this is an opportunity to say, watch this. And the Aggies beat the crap out of them. Michigan just went on a run in the Big Ten tournament all the way to the championship, ran right through it, and won the entire thing. It started against Purdue. They won that game 86-68. They then played Maryland, won that one 81-80. Then played Wisconsin in the final and won that one 59-53. An impressive run against Wisconsin, Maryland, Purdue, all tournament teams, all teams that, I guess Maryland plays today, but for right now are still alive. And, they're a team, like I said, they are anchored by their big guys. Golden and Danny Wolf are the anchor of this team. I like their guards. They have solid guards, Donaldson, Burnett, Gale Jr. They have solid guards. But at the end of the day, I think that the guys that get the job done for them are, without question, these big guys. So I really want to see Texas A&M find a way to be dominant down low. And this is all going to be up to 2 guys, I think. And I mean, those 2 guys, I guess maybe 3 guys, knowing that Texas A&M is a strong, big team. I would say it's going to be up to Henry Coleman. It's going to be up to Anderson Garcia. It's going to be up to Washington, and it's going to be up to Payne. Once again, not the biggest guys. Washington's obviously a 6'7" forward. Payne is a 6'9" forward. Garcia is a 6'7" forward, and Henry Coleman is a 6'8" forward. So this Texas A&M team, they're going to be taller, but we're going to be stronger. So let's do this. Let's run the math here, okay? Golden, the big guy. Let's get some heights and weights on these guys, okay? Golden is 7'1", 250 pounds. And Danny Wolf is 7 foot. They're both 7 foot, 250, although Golden's about an inch taller than Wolf. So 250 pounds, right? Let's go look at Texas A&M's roster. Henry Coleman, 6'8", 250 pounds. Garcia, 6'7", 220. Then you've got Payne, 6'9", 250. These guys will be able to handle it. They've done it all year long. This is why the Texas A&M been able, for a shorter team, been able to succeed against taller centers. Height doesn't always matter. It does not always matter. Shout out to the short fellas out there. It doesn't always matter. And once again, this Texas A&M team is not now. I mean, 6'8" is still quite tall, but they're not tall for SEC bigs. But they're strong and powerful. And that, to me, is what matters. So I'm not really worried about the guard play in this game. I think it's going to come down to down low. I mean, this is a Michigan team that wants to score down low. They want to score everywhere. They shoot 33.4% as a team from deep. But, they're going to want to obviously score all over the court. So let's pull up where Michigan is when it comes to 3-point attempts per game. This is kind of how I get a gauge for what a team like. So obviously I've watched Michigan play at least 4 or 5 times this year. They seem pretty balanced. We talked about with Yale yesterday. I mean, Yale is not a team that shoots a ton of threes. Okay, Michigan shoots 24.8 threes per game, which is 86th in the nation. So they shoot a good amount, not a ton. I mean, not they're not like top 10, but they're also not like bottom 10. So, they shoot a decent amount, about 25 per game. And I think that Texas A&M's got to win and it's a broken record, but they've got to win on the rebounding and they've got to win in the paint. If they win in those 2 areas, they can win this game. Texas A&M is not going to go out and shoot Michigan. If they do, they'll win this game by double digits. That's the reality. When Texas A&M shoots the ball well, and that's the exact reason why Texas A&M beat Auburn the other day. When Texas A&M played Auburn, how many threes did the Aggies make in that game? I don't think that the percentage was elite, but I think that the amount made was higher than usual. Yeah, well, no, it's 36%. I mean, the Aggies were 9 for 25 in that game. Shot 36%, which compared to the season, average is 31.1. You'll take that. And that's a big reason why they took down Auburn. Auburn shot 40% from 3, but they made the same number. That's when the Aggies win, because if they shoot the ball well, they're going to win from deep. That's just the reality. They're going to probably rely on being down low, whether it's Payne, Washington, Garcia, all of these guys, Coleman, of course. All of these guys are the difference maker for the Aggies down low. If they are able to if Danny Wolf and Golden end up being a wash with Washington, Garcia, Coleman, and Payne, then this game's not going to be close. I think that is how Michigan wins this game on Saturday, is they dominate Texas A&M's bigs. If they dominate the bigs, the Aggies, they're going to win. If it's a stalemate, I think we've got better guard play. So that is what is going to happen to pull out this victory. And that's what I kind of like. They giveth and they taketh away. And who I'm talking about is the kind of hit or miss guards. And Texas A&M has the hit or miss guards. In this game, Payne plays 20, or Phelps plays 25 minutes, only scores 5 points on 2 of 6 shooting. Tomorrow on Saturday, he could come out and he could score 26 points on 7 of 11 for shooting. Like, he can get hot at any given point. That is what I like about these guards. Obviously, the same can be said about Wade Taylor. The same can be said about Manny. So I love the guards on this team. If the Aggies can make it a stalemate or even just lose by a little bit down low, I think the guard play can carry them to a victory here. But you've got to make your free throws. And do I have any kind of confidence the Aggies are going to do that? Heck no. But if you have a good day shooting the free throws, I think, once again, the Aggies are going to win this game. Shooting in general, 3-pointers, jump shots, free throws. If the Aggies shoot a high percentage on those things, they will win this game, and it will not be close. So I think the Aggies are going to win. Let's see what the line is. I'm sure that's already out. The line in this game is A&M minus 2.5. Okay. I don't know why I thought it was going to be, well, it wasn't going to be 1.5, but I think that's valid. I think that's fair. And I would take the Aggies to cover that spread. I think Texas A&M is going to win this game. I think it's going to be somewhere in the I think it's going to be like in the 70s, the final score. I don't think it's going to be in the 60s. I don't think it's going to be in the 80s. I think it's going to both teams will be in the 70s. I'm not saying they're going to blow them out, but I think they're going to win this game by 5 to 8 point range. What I think is going to happen. Michigan plays a lot of close games, so hopefully that works in the benefit of the Aggies. We're going to talk a little bit of baseball, and we'll do that coming up right here on Locked On Aggies. Of course, the Aggies are moving on in the NCAA tournament, and the best coverage of the NCAA tournament in the entire world comes from the Locked On Podcast Network and Amazon Fire. We have a show, the Bracket Breakdown Show. It's a ton of fun. Great show, great host, a lot of knowledge. And perhaps we could see the Aggies talked about it if they get out of this weekend. So here's a little promo for that wonderful show, the Locked On Bracket Breakdown.
The NCAA tournament is here, and so is the Bracket Breakdown.
Locked On Podcast Network and Amazon Fire TV channels are teaming up to deliver NCAA tournament coverage like never before. Watch studio shows featuring former players and Locked On's local experts as they guide you through every upset, buzzer beater, and bracket matchup.
Stream it all for free on Amazon Fire TV channel. Search Bracket Breakdown to see it all for free.
It's your team every day.
So the baseball team played in Nashville last night. I'll be brutally honest. I was so focused on basketball, I thought that this series started on Friday. So I found out about this game when I got a notification from Twitter that Lord Tubbington himself had hit a 2-run homer, in the first inning. I like the way we started in this game. You go up 2-0, and then in the third inning is when the Commodores get that 3-run homer. Then they add one in the fourth. We add one in the fifth, and then they add one in the sixth. And that was kind of it. It was back and forth. Another game where, the Aggies have 5 hits. Vandy had 10. This is an outing from Prager, 4 earned runs. That one homer, he hung that pitch a little bit. If he doesn't hang that pitch, I think this outing looks a lot different for him. It's not a 4 earned runs, 5 runs total is not for 7 innings the worst outing ever, but he can be better than that. It was great to see Jace get one out of here. He also had 2 total hits in this game, which was good to see. We want him to continue to get hotter and hotter because that's just going to be huge for this team if he gets it going fully. But once again, 3 runs on 5 hits is not. That's the reality. We're not going to win baseball games. We will not win a series all season long if we average 5 to 7 hits in SEC play in 3 runs. It's not going to happen. We are not. So what are we averaging now over 4 games? Let's do a little. You're going to watch your beloved Locked On Aggies host do what he's worst at, which is math. So he scored 3 last night. We scored 0 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4. So we've scored 9 runs in 4 baseball games. We are averaging 2.3 runs per game in SEC play. One thing I can tell you with confidence, that's not going to work. Your pitching staff is too darn good. This offense is got to get it picked up. Until that happens, not going to win a game. Might not win a single game. Obviously, yes, you're going to bump into a game in SEC play, but the bats got to get going or no postseason for the preseason number 1 team in college baseball. I'm frustrated. I'm annoyed. But the thing about it is in baseball, just like basketball, you can get hot. If the bats get hot, this team can go on a run. If we get swept 3 series in a row, I'm probably, turning the hat in and saying, that's it. We're probably done here for this season. But until that happens, it's not over. So this team's got to keep fighting and playing for something. And obviously Coach Early's playing for his, job in the future because, you're the preseason number 1 team and you're 0-4 in conference play and you look like one of the worst teams in the conference. The Aggies got to get it going, and it's going to start with the bats. If you find a way to go turn around and win this series, we're having a different conversation on Monday, but I'm going to once again sit here and tell you I have no confidence that's going to happen. So we'll just have to see. That's going to do it for this week here at Locked On Aggies. Thank you all so much for being here. Big basketball game coming up tomorrow. I actually forget what time it is. 5:15 Eastern, 4:15 Central Time tip between the Wolverines and the Aggies. Excited for that one. We'll break it down on Monday. Have a great rest of your day, a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday right here on Locked On Aggies.